Alright, I guess let's get into it. Does the color of the background change based on which games lobby you're opening? I think that's it. Because I had noticed recently that it had only been showing up as pink and purple. Or green and purple, I mean. And then this time it was blue, and I was like, that's the original game's colors. I bet it changes based on the lobby. I guess I don't know, I felt like it just was changing every time. But no, I guess that does make more sense now. This is what I get for not getting the DLC until, like, this week. And hey, look, it's the Splatfest. You got baby chicks, little bunnies, or bear cubs. Or as I was saying earlier last week, you've got lesbians, bunnies, and gays. Which team are you on? Someone made a comic about Shiver playing that duck game for the first time. You know, the one where you raise up your little duckling and then it gets horrifically murdered. Yeah. Of course, there is some irony to the fact that Bear Cubs is one of the team when the main villain of Splatoon 3 was a fucking bear. But whatever. You know, like, whatevs. It's Splatfest. Team... See, what was I saying? Team Lesbian. Which team am I on? He's a scary bear. I think I already said I was gonna go Team Bunny. Because I'm not a lesbian. And I'm not gay. So I guess that just leaves little bunnies. I don't know. I could see one, based on how I look, I could see someone describing me as a bear. But that's not what I'm going for. Oh, God. No, let's go Team Rabbit. We're little bunnies. Little bunny foo-foo hopping through the forest. Something, 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 something. I used to love the Squid Girl costume in the first game. Oh yeah, because Splatoon 1 is dead now. It's just straight up dead. As of the 8th. Splatoon 1, you cannot... I mean, you can boot up the game and do, like, the story mode. But, like, online multiplayer? Nope. Gone forever. It's sad. And luckily, I'm pretty sure there are companies out there... Oh, that starts in a few minutes. Okay. Luckily, there are companies, people out there who have already found ways to get online servers back on the Wii U. And it doesn't... You don't even have to mod it, which is nice. You just gotta mess around with the DNS stuff. Which I don't know how to do, so... I mean, it's a... All it takes is a Google. Like any sort of computer thing, all it takes is one simple Google. So, what's the plan tonight? I'll be honest, there wasn't much news. I pulled out 2 stories just because I was like, yeah, you know, sure, let's talk about these. So we have 2 stories, quick stories, hopefully. And then we have we have not much WIBE. I mean, we have I have like a few things to talk about. No video games, obviously. And then, yeah, I think that's it. I say it's going to be a quick night. It's still going to be like 3 hours. Because you know me, no such thing as a quick night. So I guess we should just jump right into it. So our first story... Well, I originally saw Jeff Grubb's tweet about it. I guess the person he sources is Shinobi, who I don't know who they are sourcing. But the tweet is, EA shot down a rumor that a Dead Space 2 remake was in development and cancelled. There is no valid story. So, yeah. So I guess that's where we go. I guess that's where we start off. There was a rumor going around. I didn't actually ever see this rumor. I just saw EA shooting down this rumor that said, like, hey, there was a Dead Space 2 rumor. It's now canceled. I'm not going to read EA's official statement because, I mean, I can barely read the tweet. Oh, and they're quoting an IGN article. So that was the original thing. I know the Dead Space 2 remake came out last year, question mark. And I know people liked it. It had some changes that people didn't love. And I'm not just talking about the gender-neutral bathrooms. Like, I'm talking about, like, actual, like, changes. But it's fucking EA. Like, what else do you expect? But I thought overall people liked it. I know they liked it more than the Callisto Protocol. Which, you know, was supposed to be the Dead Space, like, revival thing that just sucked from what I heard. So, that was the original story, right? That EA says that, no, this rumor's not true, there isn't a Dead Space remake. And I saw Jeff Grubb post, I give you my permission to believe EA if you want, but whenever a company says that isn't true, but they don't specify which part of the story they're talking about, well, yeah. Dead Space 2 was definitely being planned, it had a code name, and they aren't making it now. So that was Jeff Grubb's reply to the original to the EA statement. And, you know, it doesn't... Right? As far as I know, the Dead Space remake did well. So the idea that, yeah, they had scrubbed it... or at least that they had thought about making a remake of the sequel, yeah, that makes sense. Because the only one people don't like is the third one. And even if the second one had done well, I could have totally seen them remaking the third one as well. It's all about sales, and as long as you're selling well, you're fine. And guess what? These were selling fine. So, eventually, a while later, here we go. Jason Schreier responds to all these rumors saying, he says, yes, the Dead Space is on ice once again, so EA has no plans to make a new Dead Space game. That's the first thing. Second thing is, EA Motive explored the idea for an entire entry early last year, but none were greenlit. And then third, chief hope was for a new game, not a remake of Dead Space 2, despite today's rumors, although both ideas were explored. So, the big thing to get out of this story, no matter what, is that Dead Space 2 just does... we're not getting another Dead Space game. That once again, Dead Space is dead for the second time now. Kind of like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, right? Where it came back, the remake did well, and even still, it's just dead. The franchise is dead again. Even though they were talking about remaking the third game, which I would have loved a remake of 3 and 4. Because those were the ones I played. I played 3 and 4 on the PS2. A lot of 4, mainly, actually. Which I know 4 isn't beloved as much as, like, 1 and 2 are, but I really do enjoy 4. Like, genuinely, 4 is a very important part of my childhood. So, yeah, just another Dead series that clearly, like, you look at all these fucking kiddie horror games, you know, your Poppy Plays Time, your Ferguson Fazbufords, your Garten of Bin Bin, right? You see all these horror games that are super popular with children. Horror games clearly have their niche, right? People want to... Because that was the original reason they killed Dead Space, was claiming that horror games just don't sell. Nobody wants to play horror games. And then Five Nights at Freddy's came out and sold a metric billion copies, which was all the proof you needed that, yes, horror games do sell well. It's just they don't sell as well as your fucking Call of Duty Battlefield. Because you know that's what's happening to the studio that made the Dead Space remake. They're just going to go down to the... Well, it's EA, so they're going to go down to the Battlefield mines to go make more Battlefield games that nobody likes, that just keep releasing broken, buggy messes of games. Like, that's how this all ends. So, yeah, that's the story. And it just sucked, right? I admit, yes, did I play the Dead Space remake? No. Did I really want to play the Dead Space remake? Not particularly. Like, I'm... Like, outside of Ferguson Faz Buford's, I don't really care for horror games. And I don't even know why I like Ferguson Faz Buford. Because, again, in real life, animatronics, like the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics, scared the ever-living shit out of me as a kid. Like, I used to have nightmares about the Chuck E. Cheese robots coming to life, and... Oh my god. So Five Nights at Freddy's should be like the scariest thing in the world to me. But it's not. Not that it's actually... I've told this story before. Even though you may say, well, oh, you used to have that phobia as a kid. Now, well, one, you're an adult. And two, you've played all the games. Do the animatronics no longer, like, scare you or creep you out? Because, you know, you've got used to all of these games? And the answer to that is a resounding no. Or yes, I guess? No. It's weird how I phrase that question. The animatronics still scare the crap out of me. I remember seeing a YouTube video of someone going to a Chuck E. Cheese and just, you know, like, going around, seeing the animatronic band and whatnot, and it still scared the crap out of me. Like, there was a point where, like, the Chuck E. Cheese robot, like, turned its head and stared directly into the camera, and it's like, oh, fuck, that's still the scariest thing I've ever seen. So, yeah, no, I do not care for the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics at all. They still give me horror flashbacks, all that vibe. So, yeah, no. But yeah, no, other than that, I don't really play horror games. And Dead Space is totally, like, I do not play Dead Space. I've never played Dead Space. I don't have any intention to play Dead Space anytime soon. But they are games that exist, and I know some people really did like them. Until, you know, EA ruined everything, because they're EA. Unicronic Arts. What a mess. I just wish we had gotten the fourth Tony Hawk game. I know they were just going to remake 3. That's the thing. Even if I had gotten what I wanted, they were just going to remake 3. The remake of 1 and 2, though, were good. Too bad they got sent to the Call of Duty mines. And unlike, say, Toys for Bob, they're definitely not escaping the Call of Duty mines. Because I bet all the big talent in that studio has left. What was I where they were talking about that? Where it's like, even if you want it... Oh, it was talking about Rocksteady. The guys who do the Arkham games. And it was like, you know, I hope that Rocksteady, after Suicide Squad's failure, doesn't close down and they can make another Arkham game. And it's just like, there's no point in saying that. Because all the people who made the Arkham games that you love no longer work at the studio. They all got ousted, right? All that's left is a live service mess. And yeah, that's basically it. That's basically what happened. So, our next story is about Fallout. So, there was a big Fallout TV show that came out this week. We will talk about it in a little bit. Yes, I have seen some of it. Because it's the first show in a while where all of the episodes released on one day. Which, I'll be honest, nowadays I kind of see that as like a... You don't have as much confidence in this show as you should. Because I feel like if you want a show to be super popular, you push it out over weeks like traditional television. Because that just that keeps it relevant in the public eye. That gets more people talking about it week after week. Whereas if you push a show out all at once, yeah, it kind of feels like you have less confidence in it. I can't think of a... Like, I know that's it's not a video game thing. That's a... What is that? You push it all out at once because you don't have confidence in it. Who the fuck... Somebody... It's not just TV shows that do that. Some other industry... It's not... It might be video games. I might be thinking video games. So yeah, so Fallout, the TV show is out, and with the news of the TV show, the other information about Fallout we got was that the next-gen update for Fallout 4, which has been talked about for a while now, is coming out on April 25th. So it's, I think, what, a week away? Does a week away sound right? It's a little less. It's a week. It's 2 weeks away on Thursday. So that's not too. So that's, that's right around the corner, and I do think that's good timing because it gives people 2 weeks to watch the show, to want to play Fallout again. But, it's not, like, overlapping where it's like, oh, well, you watch the first episode of the show, and then you decide to go and play the game again. I kind of wish it was next week, because I think by the time I finish the show next week, I'm going to want to play Fallout 4 again, and I don't know if I'll want to play in 2 weeks. I mean, I might, kind of, because I have already kind of... I mean, I've been talking about wanting to play Fallout and Starfield again, because I know there was talk about a Starfield update that might have come out, but because I swear it was scheduled for like March or February, and then that just never happened. So yeah. But no, I think a next-gen Fallout update, they've been talking about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure we did get a next-gen Skyrim update a while ago. So getting the Fallout update makes sense. What's coming to it? They're 60 FPS, increased resolutions, performance and quality modes, stability improvements and other fixes. There's like a giant list of things. I do not know if it costs more money. Oh, it's a free Fallout 4 update for downloads on the Xbox Series X and the PS5. So it's a free update. Oh, that's cool. Because again, I already own the game. If you have never played a Fallout game, I want to say you can get all of the games, right? Okay, maybe not Tactics and Brotherhood of Steel, but I'm pretty sure you can get all the other games at, is it Fanatical? For like $25. All on Steam, all games. I bet they're also on sale on Xbox, right? I bet you can buy all the Fallout games on Xbox as well for cheap. Again, my personal recommendation for anyone who has never played a Fallout game is New Vegas. Specifically, get New Vegas on PC. If you're playing on PC, buy New Vegas. Just play New Vegas. If you're playing on console, you can still get an okay time out of New Vegas. But on console, I'd actually recommend Fallout 4 more. I know that's a controversial take, potentially, but I am a fan of Fallout 4. Like, I admit the game has tons of problems. I agree with everything Joseph Anderson has ever said about Fallout 4. And even still, I love Fallout 4, man. There's just something so fun about stomping around the wasteland, right? Even though I've put 100 hours into Fallout 4, if you were to be like, hey, if you were to put a gun to my head and tell me to put another 50 hours into the game, I could probably do that. Okay, that's a direct quote from the Joseph Anderson video. But it's right? Like, Fallout 4 is fun in a way that, not many other, that I think captures very interestingly. Fallout New Vegas is also equally fun, and I always recommend it on PC because it's got mods. And there are a lot of Fallout New Vegas mods. Including the ability to play, if you buy Fallout 3 as well, you can play the entirety of Fallout 3 in Fallout New Vegas, which is just kind of, like, better. This is a personal one. While, yes, I'm a Fallout 4 defender, despite its many problems, I am not a Fallout 3 defender. I do not give a shit about Fallout 3. I do not care for it one bit. It's just, the game doesn't really do anything for me. Also, I'm pretty sure it's Fallout New Vegas is getting its big London thing. I'm pretty sure that's New Vegas. I don't know, that might be Fallout 4, but I'm pretty sure it's New Vegas. Because, again, everyone loves New Vegas. I don't know, it might be a Fallout 3 or 4 thing. I'm pretty sure it's New Vegas, the Fallout London. Do not play the Frontiers, though. It's not worth it. Trust me. It's the Fallout the Frontier is not worth it. Go watch somebody else, like Zach and Mike, or Mitten Squad, RIP. Play Fallout the Frontier instead. You'll get a much better experience out of it. Oh, I wonder if they're gonna do Fallout London, Mike and Zach. I hope they are. I'll be honest, I haven't watched, outside of the campfire stories, I haven't watched anything from Mike and Zach in a while. Gosh dang, they make some fun videos. And I miss Paul. And he'd be the guy to make Starfield fun. He'd go into Starfield, do some crazy shit, have fun with the New Game Plus mode, and make that game fun. I have full faith that he would have done that. But the best we can do is try to honor his legacy and collect as many forks as we can. Oh, come on. How did I miss that guy so many times? Oh, is it coming to Epic Game Store as well? Alongside this exciting update, Fallout 4 will be able to... Oh, so Fallout 4 is coming to the Epic Game Store. Oh, and it'll also be Steam Deck verified. Ooh, interesting. I'll be honest, I mostly play Fallout on PlayStation. Right? PS4 and now PS5. I do have an Xbox, but I don't own the game on Xbox, so like, whatever. The one game I'm surprised... Or the one system I'm surprised Fallout did never come to? The Nintendo Switch. I mean, the Nintendo Switch launched with Skyrim. Everybody loves Skyrim. It would have made perfect sense to follow up Skyrim on Nintendo Switch. What's that? Okay, whatever. I'm just going to do normal. We need a... Oh, let's just run our classic... Yeah. Classic Splosiomatic. So it would have made sense for Fallout 4 to come to Switch. I totally think, it would have been like the Witcher 3 port. It would have been, the graphics would have looked a little worse, but I think Fallout 4 would have ran fine on Nintendo Switch. I know there was rumors of like a Fallout New Vegas remake, or not Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3 remake. There are Fallout 3 getting like a big port, like an updated port or something like that. There were a lot of Fallout 4 rumors for a while. Or Fallout 3 remake rumors. And I don't like Fallout... Again, I'm not a Fallout 3 defender. I don't entirely agree with H-Bomber Guy's video on Fallout 3. But I don't disagree with it either. And it's one of those games where it's like, if it ever re-releases, I'll give it another chance. Right? I'll give Fallout 3 another chance. It just has to re-release, and so far it hasn't. But I think it's... I don't really care for it. I don't know. I find something so fun about exploring the Commonwealth that exploring the DC subway tunnels just does not capture. Right? Just the DC subway tunnels aren't nearly as fun as the Commonwealth. And then, of course, there's New Vegas, which is great. And yes, everybody wants a New Vegas remake. I don't know why they haven't done a New Vegas remake, if I'm being honest. Like, that seems like something that's super obvious. That would be great. And it's just kind of weird that they haven't done it. Because, yeah, I'd play a New Vegas... Of course I'd play New Vegas remake. Everybody and their dogs would play a New Vegas remake. Because it's fucking New Vegas. Ah, shit. We're only going to do like 1 or 2 rounds of this. Yeah, yeah, of course I play New Vegas. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about Fallout 4. We'll talk about the show here in a little bit. So what about WIBE? What have I been playing? Anything? No. I have not been playing anything. I don't even think I've touched a video game all week, including Splatoon. Still haven't played Princess Peach Showtime. Keeps telling myself I'm going to do that. Why does that Inkling not have pants? Like, it doesn't even look like they're wearing shorts. Huh. So yeah, I haven't even touched... I haven't touched the Nintendo Switch. I haven't touched any videos game. This has been such a busy week for me. Like, I have just been unbelievably busy. I've been tired. I just had a lot of shit to do this week. Hopefully next week it'll be a little better, you know? Like, hopefully next week it'll chillax a lot more. But this week, no. So what have I done? Did I try any foodstuffs? I don't think so. It doesn't sound... I can't think of anything. No. Did I even... What did I even eat this week? I had... Where... I had a hot dog. I made hot dogs. I had, I did hot dogs. I did chicken one night. Yeah, I did chicken one night. Yeah, no, I didn't do anything this week. Not like there was anything. So yeah, I got nothing for you there. Oh, so there's okay, no, I actually do have one thing. So Baja Blast, right? It's Baja Blast 20th anniversary. They brought it back for the entire year, but they also have two new flavors of Baja Blast. Something like a mango lemonade and fruit punch. I did find the lemonade flavor. It's something mango lemonade, something. I'll be honest, I don't remember exactly. I just know it's lemonade something, and it tastes like mangoes. It's like a bright, even though the can is yellow, and I expect it to look like a yellowish, like Mountain Dew, like that yellowish greenish color. No, it's like bright orange. It's a bright orange color. It was whatever. Like, I don't hate it. I just don't love it either. Like, I'll tell you, it's good enough that I'll get through the 12-pack. Sometimes you get you buy these sodas in 12 packs, and it's like, oh god, this is going to be sitting in my cabinet for the next year. Not this one. I think I'll actually get through this one. Eventually. The punch, though, on the other hand, I think it's called, like, Point Break Punch, I have not been able to find. And I expect that one's going to be a lot better. Because usually the Mountain Dew fruit punches are very good. Right? The last time they did a Baja Punch was really good. So I would hope this one is good as well. I try to get them both. So, I don't know. But yeah, I guess that's the one thing I've got. What else have I been doing? Did I see any movies? No. I've been thinking about watching that Civil War. I don't know. Maybe by next week I'll have seen it. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna go to my local theater does like a cheap Wednesday. I'm definitely gonna go to like cheap Wednesday. But outside of that, I don't know. I don't have any like other plans. Oh shit. So yeah, what was the... Oh, Marble League? We do have Marble League to talk about. So, last week my team was doing okay. I think we were doing pretty okay. I want to say we ended last week in like 4th or... I want to say we ended in 4th. That sounds right. So I guess overall we had a pretty good last week. The Green Ducks, on the other hand, were having a pretty miserable last week. And going into the final race, it was what? Bottom 2 teams get eliminated. I want to say there was 24 teams. I want to say Green Ducks were in like 22nd place. So they weren't in the bottom 2. They weren't 24 or 23rd. They might have been 21st. They were near the bottom. But, you know, as long as they did well in the final race, then they would have been good and they would have passed on to the next one. Instead, the Green Ducks DNF'd immediately. Like within seconds of the match starting, they hit the first obstacle and immediately got stuck. So they DNF'd the final race, and that was enough to get them out. So the Green Ducks are now officially out. So the person I know who's rooting for the Green Ducks is now rooting for the Pinkies. Because in either this year or last year's Marble League, the Green Ducks just didn't qualify at all. So they instead chose to root for the Pinkies. So they're like, I guess we're back to the Pinkies. Which, to be fair, I have a secondary team as well. Right? When Team Galactic doesn't qualify, I root for the Raspberry Racers. Right? It's whatever. Right? This ain't fucking... Oh, wait, I forgot this was... We were just playing this map on whatever, so I forgot it wasn't on... What's it called? Right. You know, we all have our secondary teams. But yeah, so that was last week, right? Green Ducks are out now. So who is in? Well, this week, Team Galactic has been doing fantastic. So the first 2 races of the season, we got our birthright, right? Team Galactic 5th is, I think, Team Galactic 5th might be our nickname. I can never remember, but I think it might be. So as you know, Team Galactic 5th, we got 5th place twice in a row, which is great. Then we got, I want to say like 4th place yesterday, maybe 3rd place. We got very high. And then today we came in 1st. So as of this exact moment, Team Galactic is winning. I want to say we're 2nd overall. Not far away from being... Right, we're 1 good race for us, 1 bad race for the opposite team. And we're in 1st. So, yeah, we're doing great this week. I want to say it's Team Momo ahead of us. Technically, as of today, which is Friday, we aren't immune, right? We haven't reached the point where we can no longer be eliminated. We haven't reached that point yet. Only Team Momo has. But we're pretty freaking close. I'm pretty sure after the next race, we will have gotten immunity from elimination. So it's going really well. You know, from just like 2 or 3 weeks ago, where we were in, I want to say it was, yeah, like 3 weeks ago, we were in like the bottom 4 teams. Like we finished like 24th or something like that. To, you know, now being in 2nd this week, 4th last week. Yeah. But the Green Ducks had something very similar. Like 3 weeks ago, the Green Ducks won and were number 1 in the overall standings. They won the gold medal for that week, and then now they're eliminated. You know, you can never really tell how the cookie crumbles. So yeah, that's been the season. Yeah, I think we're almost at race... I think as of Sunday, we will be at race 50. So we're halfway done. It's coming up quick. So, yeah. What else do I have? The only TV show we've been talking about is the one we do. I don't think I have anything else. Yeah, I don't think I have any other TV show to talk about. I have been reading, even though I've been very busy this week, I have found a very little time to listen to Iron Flame. Right, the sequel to Fourth Wing, I did start it. I have not put... I haven't put like a crazy amount of time into it. I think I finished chapter 10? 9, I'm somewhere in 9 or 10. I'm either at the start of 10 or I finished 10. Yeah, God, just getting touched by those curling bombs instantly kills you. Oh, and hey, we're in with... Oh, cool. Yeah, God. So... Iron Flame, what's been going on so far? Yay, her brother's alive. They have to go back to the military school. They're now in their master's degree on rebellion, right? They're in their second year. And the big thing for their second year is, right, the whole reason they go back to the school to begin with, even though, you know, they're in the rebellion and whatnot, is because they need to keep supplying weapons to the Griffins. So that's the whole reason they're even back at the school. They can't tell anybody about it, so they're just kind of like trying to sneak around and pretend like it's not a big deal. But yeah, so they're back in school. What else is happening? They watch the next year of first years, and the Liam's sister comes in, and she hates the main character because, you know, she blames the main character for her brother's death, even though Zayden's like, it was my fault. If she should hate anyone, it's me. We find out this is an argument they've been having over who's at fault for Liam's death, because they both blame themselves. So that's a big thing. But I love just her coming up on parapet, and the sister just being like, wait, who are you? Violet? Oh, I hate you, Violet. Right, I'm gonna... Ah, shit. If I was just a little faster with that. I was like, okay, you know, that makes... Right, I get her hatred for Violet. I think that makes things more interesting. You have one of the dragons tweak out and basically kill the entire third wing. That was whatever. You know, this world is just so flippant about death. Like, death means nothing to these people. And it's not that it's rubbing off on me. It just means, like, because the characters don't care about death, I don't care about the death, right? Like, the only death I've cared so far about is Liam's. And that's because he was an actual fucking character. Right? Like, the entire third wing getting scorched. Whatever. You know, most of them were gonna die anyways. Who cares? Like, one of the characters they were even, like, friends with, or who had a rebellion mark or something, died, and I don't even remember their names. Like, I'm just kind of like, whatever. Right? The only characters I even kind of give a shit... I care about Liam's sister, but that's just because it's Liam's sister. Do I care about the main character? I care about the main character enough. Yeah, let's put it like that. I care about the main character enough. I care about Imogen enough. I care about Rhiannon, but I don't care about the friend. The Riddick, you know, the comedian. I do not care about the comedian at all. The comedian, yeah, he means nothing to me. I think it's Riddick. And I think that's it. I can't think of anyone else who I care about. Oh, baby, a triple. Ah, gosh dang it. I was hoping to sneak by that and get them. Yeah, no, I think that's it. That sounds about right. I fucking hate Dean. God, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I picked on that immediately. That Dean fucking sucks. Because he fucking sucks. Gosh dang it. Yeah, that makes sense. And then I want to say it was chapter 9, or at the end of chapter 8, they're doing, like, the placement ceremony thing, and some guy, after doing theirs, like, this big giant kid who, like, threw somebody off the parapet earlier, he shows up, and just immediately, and he's like, hey, are you Violet Sorngale? And one of the other girls is like, oh, I'm Violet, look at my hair, it's Violet. And he just snaps her neck. And Violet fights him, kills him, and you find out that, hey, Dane's father sent this assassin. That was all good. I actually do like that entire sequence. So that was real interesting. I was hoping that was going to go farther. Ah, shit. So I like that. Oh, god damn it. I liked that entire moment. That was good. And yeah, I think like I ended, that chapter ends with like them going back to her room. Zayden's there, and he like apologizes, and they talk about, oh well, you know, can anyone else, nobody else can go into my room. And it's like, only people you invite in. But what about your room? Can anybody go into your room? And he's like, nope, just you and me. And yeah, nothing spicy has happened so far. And I've, you know, since I've been reading Fourth Wing, I guess, you know, the algorithm knows, right? These algorithms read your mind. So they know I'm reading Fourth Wing. And as a result, I keep getting more book talk stuff. And I get book talk stuff, but I'm also getting anti-book talk stuff. Specifically, people complaining about book talk and people on book talk who can only read spice, and how they just straight up won't read a book if it doesn't have spice in it. Which, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with spice, but when you can only read stuff that has spice in it, babe, you got a porn addiction. And I know some people will say, well, it's not a porn, you know, addictions are more serious, you know, that's not only reading books with spice isn't a porn addiction, blah, blah. It's a porn addiction. It's as simple as that. It's a simple, this ain't that complicated, babe. And it's, I say babe, I don't mean that in like a condescending way, you know. But it is a porn addiction. I was really hoping. I would love to time a bomb to just straight up hit someone. Ah, like to hit someone as they're jumping in. Ah, shit. Alright, this isn't good. Gosh dang it, I get hit by them, but they don't get hit by me. What the hell? Okay, we gotta take back the zone, like, now. There we go. Okay, so I think it's fine. Again, my thoughts on Fourth Wing. I have not watched the Crimson Rogue video. I have not had the time. I still think the book's, like, yeah, is the book cliche as hell? Yes. Am I still having fun? Also, yes. And, yeah. I don't know. I was talking to somebody else who has read the book before, and as we were talking about it, I just had the realization. I was like, fuck, this is just Divergent. Like, last week, I was joking about how Fourth Wing reminds me of I was joking about how I think Divergent is, like, the worst dystopian fiction book. And I stand by that. I think Divergent is awful. But now, like, the more I think about Fourth Wing, I'm like, this is Divergent, right? You have all the plots, you have you have the three factions, the murder faction, you've got the people with tattoos that represent things, the master's degree, the double major, we're gonna take a course in rebellion, right? You've got all that shit. It's fucking Divergent. I'd still stand by it's better written than Divergent, at least. Like, at least it's better written. But it's still just fucking Divergent. Like, what else are you gonna do? Fucking Divergent, man. I fucking hate Divergent. So yeah, I'm not in, like, I'm sure kind of like what I was saying about Fallout earlier. I'm sure every flaw Crimson Rogue talks about in that video is 100% true. Still doesn't change the fact that I enjoyed the book. It's just kind of how it goes. Would I recommend it to anyone? Would I recommend this to anyone? Oh, shit. I saw them, like, warp in, and then it was just boom, that's it. I don't know if I would recommend it to anyone. Of course we hit the fucking... Come on, just kill one of them at least. I don't know if I'd recommend it. Like, it could be worse. I could be recommending a Colleen Hoover book or a Sarah J. Maas book. Like, this could always be worse. But I also think there is better. I'm not some classical literature snob. You know, I think a good book can come from anywheres. And, right, you don't just have to read fucking Catcher in the Rye, fucking Holden Caulfield bullshit. Yeah, no, I fucking hate... There's another book. Alright, I hate Divergent. I hate Catcher in the Rye. I think Catcher in the Rye is also bullshit. So, yeah. But, well, I'm sure I'll have more to say about it next week. Again, I'm slowly working my way through. Of course, I fucking... Just, you know, I'm surprised I got... To be fair, getting 10 chapters in is more than, you know, you would think for me. But, again, I can multitask. It doesn't always... Right, usually I talk about multitasking in video games. It doesn't always have to be games. Just sometimes. So let's talk about Fallout. So the Fallout TV show came out this week. All 8 episodes dropped on Amazon Prime. Of course I have Amazon Prime because of Invincible. But right, all 8 episodes dropped. I have only seen the first 2. I only saw the first 2 episodes. But so far, I have really enjoyed it, actually. I think it does a good job at capturing the Fallout universe. I love the opening set piece, right? The kid's birthday party, where it all goes, right, where the bombs drop, it all goes to shit. And now, right, and then we cut to the vault. We spend a lot of time with Lucy learning how Vault 33? They're in 33, but they're in contact with Vault 32. But I want to say there was also Vault 31 in there. Like, I think the father had a Vault 31 jumpsuit. Someone had a Vault 31 jumpsuit. It was in there somewheres. But, you know, they basically, in order to not increase the... Basically, you know, strengthen the gene pool or whatever. They have, They basically... They have, like, an underground connection between Vaults 33 and 32. And they basically exchange people every now and then in order to keep the gene pool strong. And so our main character is, right, someone from the other Vault is coming over, and so she's getting a husband in exchange for them giving them, like, mechanical parts. in some food and whatnot. So we get this whole wedding scene where they have like this party afterwards. You know, they do a whole wedding. I was surprised to find out the brother is Moises Arias. That's an actor I have not thought about in a long time. Like, I didn't even know he was still acting. You know, I figured he was just another one of the former Disney Channel stars who just kind of faded into complete obscurity. I mean, I cannot think of anything he's done in the past, like, 8 years. Because, you know, he's still, what, a 30, 40-year-old man playing teenagers. I mean, he definitely looks... I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be younger than Lucy. I don't know how old he's supposed to be. I just know he's supposed to be younger than Lucy. There we go. At least somebody got hit. But yeah, I know... You know, it was cool to see him. It was cool to see him regardless. You know, I haven't thought about... Was he... Because I know some other actors on Hannah Montana got in trouble for some illicit stuff. I don't think Moises Arias was one of them. I thought he had just quit acting altogether. Either way, you know, it was neat to see him. Because I don't literally, I don't recognize a single other actor in this show. Like, he's the only one I'm like, wait a second, I know who that is. Oh my god, I can't believe they survived that. So yeah, Lucy, right, eventually he's the one who figures out, like, hey, they're raiders. And then Lucy goes and sleeps with her new husband. And when they come back, guess what? Oh, boom, everyone in the vault is being killed. And she goes out there, because we find, you know, she's a typical Fallout protagonist, where she can kind of do a little bit of everything. She's a jack of all trades, master of none. Meanwhile, her father is, wait for it, this is Fallout stock plot number 3, he is a scientist who does science stuff. Like, of course. So he ends up getting kidnapped. On all of this, this first episode feels very long. It's like an hour and 15 minutes. And I would say you definitely feel that hour and 15. It definitely gets its length out of it. But yeah, so plot B, meanwhile, you meet this guy Maximus. He was taken in as a child by the Brotherhood of Steel. Now he's working his way up. He's, you know, a recruit at the start of the episode. But by the end of the episode, he's not a serf. Not a scribe. Starts with an S. He's basically attending to a knight. Right? We meet this Knight Titus. And this first episode is all about, like, this conspiracy theory. Because he's got this friend, Dane, who is supposed to be the one who gets sent out as the serf. But instead, right, Dane gets injured. And I think Dane getting injured, right, originally they blame it on Maximus. I'm like 90% sure it was the upper command that did it. That this entire thing with Dane getting injured and everything was all a test for Maximus. Because they wanted to see if Maximus was worthy or not. But before they could, they had to test him. And so that's what they did. They did somebody else to see what he would do, blame it on him. And then depending on how he reacted, they were going to decide like whether or not they let him go. I was like, that's what would make the most sense. And it looks like that's what they did. Let's just go back. We're losing a bunch, so let's just go back to normal turf war. At least for one or two more. So, that's my guess, is that I don't know if we'll ever actually find out an answer to that or not, but that's my guess, is that it was all a test to begin with. So he ends up he ends the episode going out with the knight. Meanwhile, at the very end of the episode, you get introduced to the C-plot. There's this ghoul who is, you know, buried in the ground, and they're harvesting his blood, plasma, whatever. Immortality something. These 3... what's the right word I'm looking for? Not assassin's a fine word. Bounty hunters? These 3 bounty hunters pull this guy out of the ground, and are like, hey, we got a we got the final job here, one big job. We want you to come and, you know, help us out. And he just kills them all. And he's like, there is no such thing as a final score. There is no one last job. I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this for the thrill of the game. And then right, and that's boom, that's where the episode ends. Which I think this first episode, because, okay, so in traditional Fallout, Lucy, right, fits stock Fallout character number 3, who is a child, vault-dwelling child looking for their missing parental figure, /father, because, you know, there are no mothers. Right, so I think Lucy's a fine Fallout protagonist. You know, they explain in the first episode immediately how she's gonna do everything a Fallout protagonist does. Again, it's basically just the backstory from Fallout 3. Maximus, you know, he's this Brotherhood of Steel initiate. In the second episode, we see him and Lucy might have this sort of connection because they share this sense of, like, honor and duty, that they believe, like, oh, there are things that must be done to, you know, keep the wasteland safe. You know, they have this honor-bound dignity. So it's like, yeah, and as a you know, basically they're both on different sides of the lawful good spectrum. Like, Lucy might be lawful, or they're both on the sides of the good spectrum. Lucy's on lawful good, whereas he's more on chaotic good, maybe, potentially. And then the ghoul is, I don't want to say, like, I'm not going to say chaotic evil. I don't think that covers it. I think there's something, I'm going to say chaotic neutral. I think he would fall into, I don't know. I could see, based on future episodes, I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to say, for lack of a better term, chaotic neutral. Either, yeah, I'm just going to stay there. Because, you know, he's just in it for he doesn't care who he's killing, why he's killing. He's just in it for the hell of a job. And then, so the second episode, we're introduced to this. So they're all, at least, so Lucy's looking for her father. Meanwhile, the other two are looking for this guy from the Enclave. Right? This guy ran away from the Enclave, and somehow everybody knows it. Right? There's a bounty out on his head, and the Knights are looking for him for... He has, like, a chip in his head. That's what they're looking for. So, right, in the second episode, Lucy ends up bumping into him. Just out of, like, she's in the woods, like, or she makes, like, a fire, and he stumbles across it and tells her to go home. Meanwhile, the knight and the squire is the word I was looking for. They're tracking the guy, and he ditched his lab coat next to a cave. Inside the cave is a Yogwai. They go inside. The knight gets killed by the Yogwai. So, Maximus takes his armor. They eventually all end up arriving at the town of Philly, which is like this old abandoned junkyard, plain yard. And in it, right, she meets this, like, person who collects Volt-Tech merch and stuff like that, who, again, tells her to go home. But then it turns out the scientist with his dog is also there. And then you find out the ghoul is there as well, and the ghoul just kills everyone in town. In a really fun action sequence, right? Really good, really fun. A lot of energy to it, right? The ghoul says he's in it for the thrill of the hunt. He's in it for the fun of the hunt. And based on, yeah, how he destroys Philly, totally. 100%. So that was all good and dandy. Meanwhile, right, you find out from the scientist, Wilzig, something like that. That, right, the guy who kidnapped Lucy's father is the one looking for Wilzig, and he's trying to get to her for some reason. I don't remember who the person's name is. I'm going to guess right now that the person who put the bounty on Wilzig's head is the same person they're bringing him to. Like, it's all cyclical, if I had to guess. Also, during the big fight, the ghoul shoots off his leg. Just straight... Because that's one of the things, like, even, like, the way people are killed in this show. lines up with how they're, like, killed in the game. Like, we're not seeing VATs, but, like, the way, like, limbs are shot off or heads are shot off, it looks like VATs, right? This, I should say, all of the set dressing, all of the costume, set design is fantastic in this show. The Volt totally looks like one of the Volts from the video game. The armor that we see the knight in, totally right out of the game. It does look a little, like, plasticky, but honestly, I'm fine with that because it makes it look more like the game. And that's just cooler, right? Armor that looks more like the game but looks a little faker is, I think, more interesting armor. So yeah, I'm fine with all of that. I don't know who that was, but they're dead now. But yeah, no, I think the Volt looks good, the town of Philly looks good, right, the costume design, some of it's just pulled straight out of the game. It's all fantastic. Again, the story, I keep calling Lucy's backstory generic Fallout protagonist number 3. Right, it's doing good by the story. What is the chip? I have no idea. Like, of course, my first thought is, like, this chip in his head is the water chip, but it literally could be anything else. The makeup on the ghoul looks fantastic, right? Looks just out of the game. Perfect. Yeah, they really... I'm not going to say they spared no expense, but it all just looks very well done. What else? What else? So, at the end of the second episode, Lucy and the Doctor are able to escape from town, and as they escape, they end up... basically, because he's got his leg shot off, he's, like, walking around with a robot leg, but it's really slow. So, right outside of the LA... Because the entire show takes place in Los Angeles. Right outside the LA airport, there's, like, a crashed Soviet satellite. And he just takes a cyanide pill. Which, is that ever a thing in the game? I don't remember Volt-Tech Solution D. But that very much is in the universe of the game. Like, that totally... Like, Volt-Tech cyanide pills totally seems like something they would do. So I think that fits perfectly. But he takes a cyanide pill and tells Lucy to... Right, that he's basically just been dead weight up to this point... to cut off his head and take his head to Maldiva, something like that. Molduga. And right, if she gives Moldova her head, she might get her dad back. And that's where the episode ends. Because the Ghoul and Maximus fight, and the Ghoul ends up defeating Maximus after he goes on, like, this campaign of terror across Philly. So yeah, I think that's there's a lot of raunchy jokes in here. I think the show's funny, it's interesting, right? Like, there's a bunch of, like, raunchy jokes, right? There's multiple sex scenes. You see a guy masturbating. They mention some guy fucking a chicken at one point. There's a bunch of stuff about how the people in the Volts fuck their cousins. You know, stuff like that. But, you know, it's honestly something that I don't remember them ever saying in the game. But I could totally see someone in the game saying it, so I think it's fine. And yeah, the second episode, at one point, when she runs into the Doctor for the second time, he mentions, like, hey, you're from Volt 33. You have an indoor projector. You have mostly a corn-based diet. He basically knows everything about her. And then at the end of the episode, he reveals that he knew her name. So it's like, how does he know? Because clearly the father is from outside the Volt. Right? Like, he was clearly outside the Volt and then came back in. I'll be honest, it's been so long since I played Fallout 3. I don't even remember why why they take the father. Is your father in Fallout 3 from outside the Volt as well? Or is that something else? I don't know. There's something there. but I think the reveal at the end that, like, hey, she has to cut off his head, but he knew her name, so that's very clearly important, right? Was the father part of the Enclave? We're also, I think this show, assuming it is canon to the rest of the Fallout series, which I see no reason why it wouldn't be, is now the farthest point in the Fallout timeline. It's after, I want to say it takes place 219 years after the bomb drops, which I want to say Fallout 4 is like 200 years after the bombs drop. Right, like Fallout 4 isn't like it's 200 years, but I don't think it's more than that. So I think this is basically set 20 years after Fallout 4. But again, we're back in Los Angeles, which is closer to the setting of Fallout 1. Which, if I had to guess, I think Fallout 1 takes place like 100 years before the events of this game. So there's definitely a time difference between Fallout 1 and this one. I do wonder if anything from Fallout New Vegas is going to be referenced. Like, of course, I wonder if there's going to be stuff from Fallout 1 or 2 that gets referenced. The problem is, I don't get any of those Fallout 1 or 2 references. I've only ever played Fallout 1 once, and I don't even remember if I beat it. Yeah, I cannot remember if I've ever beaten Fallout 1. I've never played Fallout 2. I know the end. See, and the reason why I say I don't remember if I've beaten Fallout 1 is because I remember the ending of Fallout 1. I just don't remember if I got it or if that was a Let's Play I watched or something. I honestly cannot remember. So yeah. But I wonder, right, if any of those references are going to come up. I mean, they might have already. I mean, like, it was, and you know, there's a bunch of little references where it's like, oh, that's cool to see. Like in episode 1, one of the bounty hunters uses a junk jet as a weapon, and it was like, ah, that's neat. There's a few other things like that. Seeing all the stim packs and stuff, that's all cool. I think it all works really well. And I think Fallout easily adapts itself to a live-action show, unlike something like Elder Scrolls, which I know Lord of the Rings is very popular. I think it's a lot harder to adapt some of these sci-fi shows. Like, just because Lord of the Rings worked, for every successful Lord of the Rings, there's like a dozen other things that haven't worked. So, I kind of get it, you know. I get why Todd Howard is hesitant to do a Fallout or an Elder Scrolls series. But this show has already been confirmed for a second season. Right? They got like $25 million from the California government to make another season of this show. So yeah, that's... I mean, it's in theory nice to see a show. And like the production starts like right around the corner. Like, one of the things that suck about modern shows is how you have to wait, like, 25... Like, you have to... Not 25. You have to wait, like, 5 years in between seasons. Like, Season 1 comes out, they wait till the entirety of Season 1 comes out. They wait to see if it's successful. And then they greenlight the second season that doesn't have a script or anything, that has to be shot, right? It has to go into production, it has to be shot, it has to be edited. It takes forever, right? Like, that's why Stranger Things has taken almost 10 years now. That's why Percy Jackson's going to take 10 years. Because I don't even know if they've officially confirmed a second season yet. They only just confirmed a second season for, it was it was the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. They only just confirmed a second Five Nights at Freddy's movie. That's supposed to come out like a year and a half from now. It's all a big mess. Yeah, shows just take forever nowadays. And like, on one hand, that's a CGI thing. But on the other hand, it's just companies don't want to greenlight shows. And when they do, they'll wait forever to greenlight them. Whereas like before, a company would order 2 seasons of a show off the bat. They would just automatically order 2 seasons. And then, right, as the first season's airing, the second season's filming at the same time. Whereas nowadays, yeah, that's not how it works. There are some benefits to traditional TV. I guess that's what I'll say. But no, so far I'm enjoying the show. Hopefully by next week I will have finished the entire thing. Alright, I just had time for the first 2 episodes. Oh, look, classic Squid Kid. That's neat. That's neat. But yeah, hopefully by next week I'll have done it all. We'll see, though. So that takes us to our outro. What's planned for the coming weeks? Nothing. I'll be on it. Could I stream a new run in Fallout 4 once the new update comes out? Totally. I could totally just go in, make a new character, and we can be fucking Scroobus Misgoobus, or whatever. We could do a challenge run to beat the game with only a fork, right? We could do whatever, but I don't know if I'm actually going to do that. Especially because the worst part of Fallout 4 is the story. And whenever I replay Fallout 4, I just try to completely avoid it. Or, I guess not completely avoid it. It's more that, like, I will only do story stuff if I naturally come across it in the world. If not, I'm not going to go out of my way to find a story destination. I will only go to a story destination if it comes up naturally in the world. Right? Like, other than that, I have no reason to, like, mess with the story in Fallout 4. Because it is the worst part of the game, bar none. So yeah, I don't have any plans for anything in the future. Maybe we play Fallout 4, maybe we don't, I don't know. It's definitely an idea bouncing around in the back of my dome piece. So I'm not going to rule anything out yet. But yeah, I don't think, I don't have anything else planned. You know, we'll be back next week for the Splatfest over there. Reppin' Team Bun. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't have any other plans outside of that. Yeah, no, I don't really have any plans. We'll be, you know, it's whatever. It is whatever. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.